Welcome. This is the Filmmakers Podcast. It's 2020, people. Welcome to the new decade. Yeah, decade. Let's go there. This is a podcast where we talk filmmaking from indie film to studio films and everything in between. How to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to mess it up in our very, very humble opinion. I am Giles Alderson. I'm the director of The Dare, which is being released on March the 3rd. And it is at Panic Fest this January in Kansas City. If you're anywhere near there, go see it. But more importantly, before then, this coming Monday, January the 13th, is Serial Killer's Guide to Life. The feature film I produced is being released. It's absolutely delightful. There's going to be certain cinemas in the UK, but you can get that all across the world. So please go to the show notes now and pre-order it. And if it is past Monday, then order that film. Please do support. This is what it's all about, supporting each other. And even if you just watch the trailer, even if you just retweet our tweets and get other people looking at it, then brilliant. But if you want to come and join us next Monday evening, we have a screening at the Kino Cinema in Bermondsey in London. Tickets are available now, and there'll be a Q&A after that as well with myself and most of the cast and crew, the director and co-writer and editor Staten Cousins Rowe, along with the lead actress and producer also, and co-writer and co-editor Poppy Rowe will be joining us on this podcast next week. We will sit down, the three of us, and maybe more, discussing how we made that film. They will also be joining us on January the 28th for the Make Your Film event, the next one. Get down. We've also just confirmed another amazing guest for that event. We'll be announcing later this week. Super excited. Link to that is in the show notes. Oh, it's an absolutely packed show this week. It's Krysty Wilson-Cairns. I am so super excited. She's an amazing screenwriter and an amazing person. We had such a laugh myself. Lenoir and Robbie McKane. It's such a joyful listen. But before then, I have to tell you, would you like a all-expenses-paid trip to Los Angeles for a week of meetings and mentorship with top Hollywood professionals? What was that? Yes, you do. Of course you do. Because this week's episode is sponsored by the good people at screencraft.org, where their screenwriting fellowship is now accepting applications. Final deadline is coming up. It is the last day of February. So you have a tiny bit of time. But it is coming up because you know what screenwriting's like. Suddenly you want to do a rewrite and another one. Oh my gosh. And Krysty Wilson-Cairns talks about that so much. So you need to apply now with your feature film or TV screenplay, screencraft.org/fellowship before the end of February. Link is in the show notes because they're currently reading scripts. If you have one ready now, get it in. Sooner the better. You know what it's like. Last minute, suddenly there's loads. Do it now. Link is in the show notes to that. And if anyone wants 20% off the Rain Dance film directing masterclass with the wonderful director 8 De Jong, who has made films such as Drop Dead Fred, Enigma, Discovery of Heaven, Highway to Hell, Miami Vice, Deadly Virtues, Love is Thicker Than Water, many, many more. 25th to the 26th of January. Just type in 2020 director and you can get 20% off when you're paying. That is Rain Dance, our little lovely discount this week. Thank you, Bailey and everyone at Rain Dance. Elliot, top man. And I want to give a shout out to the Gold Movie Awards. I met Jason Matthewson at Adam Morse's party just before Christmas, and me and him chatted about his Gold Movie Awards. And it is on this Thursday, the 9th of January. So if it's actually all day as well. There's events and stuff which I was going to do, but I'm in the edit for King Arthur, so I can't do them. But if you're around, go there. It's going to be brilliant. I'll be there in the evening, hopefully, and we can say hello and you can see all the awards. So shout out to you, Jason Matthewson. It's the Gold Movie Awards this January the 9th. Get on down there. And finally, thank you to Cameo for organising this. You guys are amazing, and E1, love you all. So myself, Don Lenoir and Robbie McKane sat down in the hotel suite somewhere. You'll find out right now. Welcome to this wonderful Filmmakers Podcast episode with Krysty Wilson-Cairns. Enjoy the fuck out of this one. Hey, and it's 2020. Make your film. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Enjoy this week's podcast.
So we've just made our way through the warrens of the amazing Corinthian Hotel.
It's amazing here.
It's very epic.
It's very kind of... How much
going to
luxury
the bathroom is like you're entering like a marble palace of decadence.
This is one of the nicest hotels in London. It's called the Corinthian. Corinthian.
Corinthian.
It ends with an A,
No,
right?
none of us know.
I've been getting it wrong.
So you can't go there.
You'd think it was that, but I don't. I think it's
got
got
the
an A
best
at the
spa
end.
in Europe.
Corinthian. We don't know where. So is it not on the bedpost? Should we have a look? Scratched in?
Have you been to the spa, Dom?
I have, yeah.
Well, how come? Was it a date?
I did a gym trial here.
Just a trial.
Just a trial.
After the trial, he went, I ain't paying for this. I can get it free, down the road.
Cool story,
Exactly. Great story, Dom. Thanks for coming. We are here to talk with Krysty Wilson-Cairns, who is a fantastic screenwriter. And technically, she hasn't actually had a feature film out right now. But yet, in 2020, she's going to have 1917, the fantastic Sam Mendes film, out.
So she's gone back 112 years?
Yes.
102 years?
Well, Dom,
Something
shocking. And also, she's going to have the fantastic Edgar Wright feature film out. It's called Last Night in Soho. And it sounds amazing. Sam Peg's in it, right? And it sounds absolutely brilliant. So she's just about to burst onto the scene. She's an absolute powerhouse. She's so much fun. We had so much...
We're doing this. We've travelled back in time to do the intro, so we've actually already done this. Very exciting.
So we've done the podcast with her, and they've given us another hotel room, but we only had 40 minutes to do the chat. We squeezed 45 out. Thank you so much, E1, and our wonderful PR
Great
company
team
behind you. Thank you for giving us time with her, because you are in for a treat. Don, what was the highlights for you that she comes up with in this
I think it was the pancake chat and the double Deliveroo, because I'm quite into food, so I was
that's
quite...
the screenwriter in you was into that.
But I mean, if we're talking serious for a small moment, probably the fact that just making those big epic blockbusters that she dreamed of when she was younger, and that's kind of that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah, well, she started off doing Penny Dreadful. I say started off. I mean, literally a couple of years ago doing Penny Dreadful. She started off in Taggart and moved her way through. Wrote on Penny Dreadful, and then Sam Mendes met her on that and said, "Come and write 1917 with me." Now she's amazing, and what an amazing person. Robbie, what was the highlight for you? What's the inspiration?
I mean, what a generous person with her time and knowledge that she was kind of spilling out. I think like the moment that she said, I started out as a waif on the set of Taggart. Just following people around.
Get ready for that word.
I knew that was going to be a good interview. So fantastic.
I loved her process of writing and what she goes through and how she actually delivers scripts, and how fascinating I found her schedule of how she writes. It was just like, wow.
Yeah, you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning.
No, don't have to. She's like, I get up when I want. In my pajamas, I'll write when I want.
And also, I think the other thing that was really nice is just the willingness to get stuck in when she was like beginning, like the passion for like learning everything about every department of film, which is such a valuable thing to learn. So that you're popular, and people can connect with you because you understand them.
Yes, absolutely. And she was so lovely. We had such a great time. Looking forward to you lot listening to that podcast. And any feedback from the podcast, do let us know. Anything you want us to improve on, any questions you want us to ask anyone, something you have a burning desire to know about, get in touch with us at FilmmakersPod, me at Giles Alderson, at Robbie McKane, at
DIR
Dom Lenoir.
Director Dom Lenoir.
I like it how Robbie said.
DIR is short for director.
Just
Dom Lenoir.
To make your film. The next one is on January the 28th. While you're here, Dom, let's talk about it.
It's pretty exciting. We've got...
I don't know if we can say they're confirmed yet, because we're doing this at Christmas time.
But let's just say that they are we've got some very, very, very big people lined up for January, February,
Whether they
March.
do it or not is another thing, but we've got that to announce very soon, haven't we? Which I'm super excited about. How are you getting
But in
on?
hindsight, we've just done an amazing one in December. Another spectacular.
Yeah.
Couldn't have gone better.
And we might release that as a Patreon podcast, Robbie. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, more on that to come.
Yeah, we're also doing merch as well very soon. I keep saying that. I did that last Christmas and said I'm doing merch. I've got T-shirts and mugs and all sorts lined up. I just haven't done them.
Already got 3 mugs.
Whee! Dom's back in the room. Mr. Puntastic.
We need a pun bell.
Mr. Puntastic, semi-fantastic Dom Lenoir.
We need a pun bell we can ring every time Dom makes a pun.
We could just ring his bell. Ding, ding, ding,
make
ding.
a jar and put some money in it. And
That way you can make your next feature film.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, what's happening? I want to see the next Dom Lenoir film, because your feature film Winter Ridge was a spectacular event. I loved it.
Yep.
And I want to know what's next with you. I want to get you to the next stage.
I've got an epic drama set in America. I've got a big film noir project that's like a...
Are you writing that?
It's something that I've co-written, and it's like just a dream project. It's one of those things that's almost too big to imagine.
How do you mean?
As in like the scope of it, the scale, the sort of the visuals. So it's quite an exciting proposition. But I don't know. I'm quite a big fan of you work on things in the background until, because in film it's like it's zero until you're on the first day of the shoot and you're making something. So I like to work in the background and develop a lot of stuff and go through the processes and rewrites, rather than like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and then until it's happening, it's not happening.
There you go.
It is happening.
But it is happening, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting, though.
It does sound exciting. Robbie, I want to know when we're making your first feature film, because what's great about having you on the podcast is not only you're a brilliant person and you have such silky tones.
He does have dulcet tones.
Is the fact that you are our sort of
protege?
Protege. No. Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to guide you.
Yeah, no, I'm honoured to
We want to guide you to make your feature, and we want to go, and our listeners want to go on the journey with you, and they're behind you. They're screaming, Robbie, like they do with Robbie Williams.
Hashtag prayers for Robbie.
That's exactly. Please, put it out there. Let's make this happen. Because we want to see you certainly make your next short, but then move on and make your feature. Because that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Over the last year, it's been great. Like, we made a TV series. It's gone out on broadcast TV for the first time. I've been working in that medium.
Because you produced and you directed one episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was pretty crazy. I think I started out as a production assistant, and by the end of the show program,
I like to promote people
I was the
in my
producer.
work. By the end, he directed it. In the end.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, absolutely. I'm well up for entering the world of features and hopefully kind of continuing my career in that.
So there's no hope it's going to happen, Robbie.
Do you know what's really nice about Robbie's journey is that you listened to the podcast, you got in touch, and said, "Hey, I'm around. Can I help out?" And now look,
that was it.
Now
look at him. Producing,
Rags to
editing the podcast.
I was an urchin living on the streets.
Look at you.
And I could only afford one podcast, to listen to one podcast.
The only one. Yeah, the only
No, but absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge podcast fan, but all of the podcasts I listened to were US-based for film. And it was really nice to find one that's based in the UK, but also is about the practice of filmmaking and getting into filmmaking, and about the British filmmaking scene, because it's so, as we said, clandestine
or unseen,
and it's all about sharing that knowledge and meeting lots of great people, and it's been great.
It's moving on. I am literally handing in my version of Knights of Camelot, Arthur and Merlin, to my execs literally this week, coming up, my final version. So it can move all into the grade and the post.
Very exciting.
How exciting is that?
It's a very nice relaxing period when you go into the grade, and it's like you sort of you sit back and it's all come together and it sort of feels like a film.
The grade is one of the best.
It's like tying the nice bow on the top of the present.
Agree.
It's the icing on the cake.
Well, the icing on the cake, which is what we talk about in this podcast. Coming as a lovely throwback to that Robbie that people didn't know, and now they do. What I like about going in the grade is because now your movie can look amazing. You go in there, it's like the best job in the world, isn't it? Right? Okay, my movie's a bit shitty here, and it goes dark here, and they go ping, 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 and you all go, "Oh my god, I love you!" Be a grader, everyone.
Boom and shot. We can just paint that out.
Yeah, no problem. You don't want that actor in? No worries.
Let me just open the power window. Bam, it's gone.
Boom, it's out of there. The whole filmmaking process is amazing, but it's a constantly rewriting process, and that's what I'm at the moment with the editing. It's just rewriting it. It's a big podcast today about screenwriting, but I find, and Krysty was saying that today, the fact that she's constantly rewriting. She was rewriting on set of 1917, then when she was doing ADR, rewriting all the time.
It's interesting because when you do rewrites, you always think, when you get your script into the state of being like in a good state, you look at it and you're like, wow, this is actually really good now. I can see how much it's improved. That doesn't need any work. And then you disappear off for a couple of months and you develop other things like the budget or the schedule, and you start to put all the other pieces together. And then you come back to it and maybe someone else gives you some notes and you're just like, oh my God, there's this new set of infinite possibilities. It's already good, but it can be so much better. And that's the process of rewriting. It can always be good, but there's just always other layers you can add and strip back even.
Yes. And I think it's really important to get a good editor as well, because they can bring so much new and exciting stuff. They can move scenes around. They go, well, actually, if you stay on the back of this person's head here, you can get an ADR line that covers all that. Now you don't need that whole guff backstory, that you thought you needed. It's incredible.
And that's actually quite an interesting point, because if you get an editor to look at your script, That's one of the most like brutal but kind of useful ways to cut your script down. It's just like, nope, that's never going to make it into the film. That'll be the first thing that goes. Yeah, you take that montage sequence and it's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's vital. So it's good. We're a good time at the moment. And Serial Killer's Guide to Life is out on January the 13th. It's out, cinemas, and on. You can get it online now. On demand. Thank you, Robbie.
In demand as well.
It's in demand. On demand. You're on demand.
Yeah.
You're in demand.
It's on demand. It's in demand. It's a Serial Killer's Guide to Life.
Thanks for doing your silky tones, Robbie.
That was my silky tones.
No, we'll do it when I wasn't talking over you. Do it silkier. Yeah. Do it better. Just make it better. Right, here, go. Ready? And go.
It's on demand. It's in demand. It's a Serial Killer's Guide to Life. It's turning into Mark Strong.
What did you do? Yeah, you turned into something not Robbie.
Let's hope he doesn't listen to this one.
Mark Strong's gonna, he's gonna crawl on you. He's gonna sue us, but that's my.
Yeah, he'll sue us.
That's my voice.
He'll be like, Giles, I listened to your podcast, and Robbie's impression of me was terrible.
Your one was amazing.
It's actually offensive, and I'm now gonna sue.
Yeah, Jaguar. You know what I mean? Anywhere near? Other cars are available.
A little bit of darkness hones the senses.
By the way, if you want to listen to the Mark Strong podcast, it's episode 19.
Disclaimer, Mark Strong is no longer friends with us.
Yeah, he's just unfriended me from my life.
He's unfollowed all of us.
Yeah, I talked to him about making 1917 at the football the other day, and because he's in 1917, by the way.
Of course, and he gets introduced. You hear his voice first before you see him, which is so great.
And then his feet just appear and you're like, oh my gosh.
Those are Mark Strong's feet. Oh, that's the epic shot with the sort of the cape as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just after a vital moment.
It's like, I don't even need to see this guy's face. Like those calf muscles, that walk. Whoa.
Totally. And my mate, Rob Marcer.
It's a mind-blowing intro.
It is amazing.
It's literally like, this is the coolest guy that's ever lived.
Yeah. The German bomber, he is played by Rob Marcer, who's my lead in The Dare, one of my leads in The Dare. And it was fantastic to recognise him and that and go, oh my God, I didn't know he was in it.
It's one of ours.
How cool you're one of us. How cool was that? But anyway, Mark was saying about how when he was making this and the process of making it, and it would be too spoilerish to tell you right now. I'm sure you're going to find out in all the featurettes and specials. But oh my God, it looks like one shot. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing, this movie, of how amazing it looks. And Mark was just telling me the process of how he was doing it, how he had to stand, the whole rehearsal time he had to do for it. It was like doing a play. And they just put a camera on and just did it like, the big long takes.
I thought there was a bit more on that.
No, he
just put the camera on and just did it.
Did he just put the camera on and did it?
Roger, get the camera over here.
Oh, Rog. Sam, where do you want the camera? Anyway, mate,
just put a light out.
Look at Mark Strong's face. Just put it on him. And maybe his boots first. That'll do.
I don't care if there's no practical.
We don't need to synchronise it in between take. No, it's fine.
It's totally fine. We'll ADR it all. It's all right. Krysty will rewrite it in the ADR process. Yeah. We could witter on for ages, but we want you. And we have. But that was because we only got 40 minutes with Krysty, and we thought it'd be nice.
I feel like when we listened back, it was probably a bit more than 40 minutes. I feel like it.
Possibly, yeah. But we wanted for you to listen to us for a tiny bit before, just because we had that space. So we thought we would. So this is this week's podcast with Krysty Wilson-Cairns talking about 1917. Enjoy.
And we have to leave now.
That's someone knocking at the door. Come in, enter.
It's quite an experience coming in here, actually. It was kind of like reliving the film as we went down all these corridors.
I know.
And there's different,
it's a real journey, isn't it? I got lost in it last night and I was like, will I ever see Kansas again?
Are you staying here?
I stayed here last night because I had a really early start. I mean, I live in Ladbroke Grove.
Oh, right.
I'm so lazy because I'm a screenwriter.
Yeah.
I'm not usually up before 10. That's not me.
That's silly.
That's not my world.
Do you, is that how you work then? You'll go around.
I work however I have to. In an ideal world, I'd wake up about 10, I'd roll out of my bed in my pyjamas, I'd write a script
like an action role.
Oh no, not an action role. If there was padding down, potentially. Okay. I did spend a lot of time with the stunts department in 1917, so I learned how to fall.
Did you really? How much fun that must have been.
So much fun. I love filmmaking, so being on set every day was just like, I'm like, teach me.
Yes.
So I learned a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, you must
I stole a lot of things too.
What was the best thing you stole?
The best thing I stole, well, actually, my favourite thing is a sign for the town of Acoust, which is the town that George is a nightmare through. So that was my favourite thing, but I stole loads. I stole a bottle made of sugar glass because I can't wait to have a fake fight.
Yeah, nice. You have to film it though. When you do it, you have to film it.
I should definitely film it.
Sugar glass is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Sugar glass is a lot of fun, but not sugar. You can't eat it.
Okay.
It's called sugar glass, but you can't eat it.
You just sitting on the floor afterwards, like,
the very first thing the art department was like, don't eat it. And I was like, I wasn't going to, but I probably would have tried.
That, I want to lick it.
I definitely would have tried.
Just want to taste it.
They knew me. They were like, you got to tell her that she's... But no, so I would wake up about 10, I would roll out of bed, I'd type for about, 7 or 8 hours, and then I'd order some Deliveroo in an ideal world. And that's how my life was until...
Talk us through the menu.
Oh, well, every day... Actually, sometimes I'll do a double Deliveroo. You get a lunch and a dinner. Oh, because I don't want to...
You're the high-flying roller screenwriter.
I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm special now. I'm making money writing. I can do this.
Exactly. Right now, I can do this.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
I feel like there's writers that might want to know what the writer's diet is.
The writer's diet, oh my God, don't start. I put it this way, I sometimes say, oh, can I have a green juice? And when I want a green juice, I mean a Sprite. It's not a healthy diet. It's not a healthy diet. I exist on sugar, pure sugar and glucose. I don't drink coffee, so I do nothing but entirely.
So I've only just got into coffee. Coffee's
hard.
Literally on the last shoot I did. Yeah, on King Arthur.
What made you switch? Why now?
Because it was so hard and wet and cold, and I went, I have to have coffee. Someone gave me a coffee, and I went, oh, okay.
Now I can survive.
Normally I get a fuzzy head. So maybe that's how you feel on the coffee. Like, does it make you go a little bit?
No, it tastes like burnt dirt. That's my problem with it.
That's why you have to pour loads of caramel and bake stuff in.
See,
it's like a dessert.
How the middleman just give me the syrupy caramel. Do you know what I mean? Like that's fine with me. I write for about 7 or 8 hours.
Every day?
Double Deliveroo. Yeah, I love doing it. It's really good fun.
Seriously?
Oh my God, have you tried it? It's like the best thing ever.
Yes, we've all tried it.
It's really good
2 or 3 hours and it's like, okay, I'm going to need a break now for my mind.
You get into a weird zone. I don't run marathons. I don't know if you can tell. I don't run marathons.
I can't tell. No.
Oh, thank you. That's actually quite sweet. I'm not a marathon runner, but people say you get into the state where you get into it feels euphoric, and I'm always like, I call bullshit on that. Oh,
sure.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah. Call it
a
out.
little bit. I won't drop the C-bomb. Yeah. Call bullshit on that, right? But in a way, writing to me feels like that. After a while, you you lose all sense of time or reality. You go and live in your own little magical world, and it's super.
I agree with that.
Control everything there.
There's times when I've been writing and suddenly you'll go, oh my God, it's 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then there's other days where you can't do anything.
Do you enjoy the twilight hours? Because I find that's
I like the twilight hours.
When it's sort of 1 a.m. and you just know that everything's quiet and you've got maybe a cup of tea or something.
See, I used to work in a bar. And I obviously had to write around my bar work, although sometimes the bar was quiet and I write in the bar. Actually, the owners of the bar were very nice for it that way. So I would always write either after work or really early in the morning. Sometimes I would get up. My Twitter's we write at dawn for a reason, because I would sit early in the mornings and then go back back to bed, have a little news, arise at 12 in the morning, 12 in the morning, 12 at night, the midday one.
The midday one. the one.
So confusing.
No one knows when it is.
Noon. Yeah. That one. Arise, bit of breakfast, go about your day.
Because when I saw your Twitter handle, it said we write at dawn. I was like, it's
right until dawn. It should be.
Yeah.
I should. Well, I know. I'll write until whenever it needs to be done. Until sadly, I'll write until the deadline is a better.
Do you come up with concepts then, and sort of just write on spec? Do you come up with ideas? How does it work?
Absolutely everything. I like to generate my own ideas. I've a bunch of projects that I came up with on my own that I've then taken out. I've got TV shows with Mendes, with Sam and Pippa, Neil Street, and people come to me to do adaptations. I love to adapt real life stories. So I adapted a book called The Good Nurse, which is a horrific serial killer real life thing that happened in American hospitals, which I loved to do. Very disturbed. Yes. Really anything. Sam came to me with this idea. So it was 1917 is based on ever so slightly on his grandfather's experience in the war. And I was a big war buff. So Sam has essentially was like, hey, do you want to sit and write this with me? I was like, yeah, you're Sam Mendes. Absolutely.
Hello. It's a very personal film. It feels very personal.
Yeah. And actually, even though it's not his grandfather's story, I think Sam and I grew up on war movies, grew up reading first-hand accounts of the First World War. My grandfather was really like a real history buff, so I grew up really kind of entrenched in history. And
Entrenched.
Clever.
I know I don't want to brag.
You've been doing this all day,
young.
yeah.
I'm sort of, they pay me to be good with the words.
Right, yes.
So I have to keep. It's like training.
We can't pay you for puns.
That's all. I don't get
Don
paid
loves a
per
good
pun. I'm working.
He loves.
There's nothing wrong with a pun. But it was really personal to both of us in a way, because like, even though I personally didn't know someone that fought in the war, it was important to me to get it right, because so many men fought and died in that war. And so research is vital. I love doing research because it's really good fun and you get to travel the world.
Absolutely.
The best part of writing, apart from the bit after you've finished and people take you to fancy parties and get you drunk.
I know.
That's the
and
other
you have
good
to
part
talk
of writing.
about it on podcasts. And
I don't mind that.
You don't mind?
See, I love talking about.
Right,
I love talking about
process.
1917, and I like talking about writing, and very few people will listen to me for long. So thank God you guys came along.
I know. Well, they will here. I absolutely love it. Now, we'll get on to 1917 in
Yes.
a minute, because it's one of the best films I've seen.
Oh wow!
It was spectacular. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
that's
blew us
high
away.
praise.
Blew us away. Watched it at the IMAX.
We all did very nice reviews.
Yeah, me and Robbie watched it at the IMAX on the premiere night.
It's
see
good
the
in the
IMAX
IMAX,
version.
isn't it?
Oh my
I was
god!
at the Odeon
Yeah,
Lux,
IMAX.
which is very
Oh,
nice.
you were with me.
Yeah,
You were with
yeah.
me.
So if you get a chance to watch
Yeah.
this, try watch the IMAX.
Yes.
But, I mean, I didn't
The
see
biggest
the other
screen, it
one.
has to be the biggest
see
screen.
it in the biggest screen you can possibly see it
Yeah.
on, and sit at the front. I mean, I would never say
no,
that.
no,
I
you
would
sit
never
at the
say, but you
front.
want. No,
Yeah.
I've seen it about 9 times now.
Okay.
Because I had to see it all through the process of like the edit, the post process. I had to go watch it and tweak ADR and all that. It's all part of my job, you know. You've
Sure,
got to keep
yeah.
doing that stuff. You can't just be like done resting
see
my
ya.
laurels.
There are a lot of writers that happens to. A lot of writers,
Yeah.
they hand in their script.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, see you later.
Yeah.
We're off to go make it.
Yeah.
And we might see you at the premiere if you
might,
get a
might
ticket.
see the
It's
premiere.
kinda-
Not sure if it's in your.
Yeah.
Not sure it's in your contract.
It's kind of a nice sort of return to like the old Hollywood model in a way, because
Yeah,
writers always
exactly.
used to be like involved all the way through, like
Yeah.
a sort of a nice helping hand.
You're kind of like the guardians of the story, or like just like the bodyguard of the story. Like kind of you're there to just be like, hey, remember the story also.
With all
and
this
not
fancy
that-
camera
not
stuff.
that- yeah, exactly.
None of that.
Well,
You need to
to
talk
be
about
honest
the
with
story.
you, Roger and
Calm
Sam
down,
were
Roger,
so.
calm down.
No, but they're so story first.
Yes,
like even
yeah,
though those two men could literally achieve anything with a camera, which is staggering.
It was staggering.
But like it was always begins in story, always begins in that. So I mean, I say I was the bodyguard of the story, but I was like the fat bodyguard that doesn't do anything. Eats sweets and sits and that. And they're like, "Are you protecting the princess?" I'm like, "Princess is fine.
Yeah, she's fine. She's in the
all right.
tower.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah,
longer hair. She's
in
growing
another
it. She's
having a
castle.
sugar rush.
She's growing it out. It's fine.
You're like Mayor Quimby's bodyguards in The Simpsons looking at clouds.
100%.
Nice.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good reference.
So you started off, as far as I can tell, you started working on Taggart. Is that where you
I
were
did. Well,
in?
I say working on Taggart. Basically, they used to shoot Taggart near where I grew up, and but
just
14
turned
and
up.
15, I would just turn up on
Serious?
set. Yeah, I would just turn
Whoa.
up on set, and I'd be like, "What's that? What's that do?"
Did you have a disguise or?
No,
that do?
I was. My disguise was waif,
Child waif
child
in the
waif,
corner.
blonde child waif. I was just like, kinda
waif
like,
free.
Yeah, I was like, hello. And actually, weirdly, I guess people who make films love to tell people how they make films because
100%.
because people who watch films are always kind of like, wow, it's just like you're transformed to another time,
Mm-hmm.
another place. And see when you get into the nitty gritty of it, see when you're actually a part of it, it's really good fun to talk about. Like it's a really amazing thing that we all do. We work
really
really
is.
hard to make complete make believe worlds, and I find that everyone's excited to talk about their job on set. And I never really, I guess I learned that by doing it. I just turned up 14, 15 and was like, oh hi, how do you do this? And eventually they were like, well look, if you're going to turn up all the time, learn how to make us coffees and teas. And so I would do that. And so I became like a kind of runner, but just a really bad runner.
And barrister.
And probably an insurance liability is what I was
Probably,
really
yeah. They were like, this
on
girl,
set.
we should probably
They were like-
try and
they
get
were
rid
like,
of her. Yeah, her tea is terrible.
Don't let her near the traps. I like, like just definitely like in piles of cables and stuff like that.
That's a good way to actually be like involved in all of the set and all the different
Yeah.
jobs, because
Well,
some people
I
just
ended up-
choose one job, don't they?
Well, exactly. And I ended up like I would follow the camera department around. I would follow the sound department around. I
Literally
would
follow them.
Literally follow them. I was a stalker. I was a tiny child stalker. That was my first career. Child stalker.
Child stalker.
Oh, I've got to phrase that
Yeah, I
right.
know, yes, you've got to be really
no.
careful.
I was a
Stop
child.
putting that one on
I was a
IMDb.
child,
who did the stalking. Okay, I was a child. Very important.
Let's get that very clear.
Headline.
I'm like, oh no!
Oh my God.
My publicist is like slowly raising a gun to shoot all of you. He's like, we can't let them leave. She won't. I'm joking.
She won't. She's not listening.
No, she's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I did. I would go to every department. I would badger them. I was relentless, and then eventually they let me sort of work. They let me do that, and they started paying me, which was real nice.
Wow, you're obviously good enough.
Me. No, not really. I think they were just like for insurance purposes. She needs to be paid.
She needs to be on the payroll.
Yeah, she needs to be on payroll in case like anything happens. And then I did some adverts and stuff like that. But I ended up kind of falling in with the same people. And I just loved it so much. And I was meant to go and be like an engineer or something like that because I'm quite good at maths. Like I was good at maths and physics. And that was the career I was meant to have. And I got into like university to do stuff like that. And I remember saying to my mum, I was like, actually, I think I really want to just like keep working in film and TV. And she was like, cool, go for it.
Oh,
she was just like, yeah. Her only thing was like, hey, get a degree. And so I went to the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland and I did a degree in film and TV.
Yes.
Blagged my way in there. I was like, hello, sirs. I know much
Taggart.
about film and TV.
I've been on many sets as a waif.
You might know me from Taggart.
You might recognise me from that police broadcast where they asked me to not be in Taggart anymore.
Did you get your name in the credits?
I wonder if I'm officially credited. Do you know what? I never checked. I never
you not?
checked. No. I think I might be in one of the credits for Rebus, and I'm on a credit for a TV show called Lip Service.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those are some of my formative credits. The one I'm more proud of is like 1917, Penny Dreadful, Last Night in Soho. Of course, Rebus.
Rebus meant a big at the time though, because
oh my God,
it was
it's massive.
huge when we all start off.
John Hannah,
yeah, exactly. But at the time when we start off, it's very difficult to carve our way in the career.
Well, I think
you've got to do anything to get there.
and I think as well, see if you don't have family that work in the industry, if you don't have, not that nepotism is rife, but it is a slightly rife, but if you don't have any kind of connection to the world, it's totally impenetrable. It's like I mean, you're like, how do you don't even know what sets are, you don't even know how it begins, you just think it appears on screen magically.
Totally.
And that's exactly why we do this kind of podcast, because it connects people, because there's this big barrier between like people that don't make films, people that want to make films, and people that are making it.
Yeah. Well, there's an absolute gulf. And I remember, see when I was first a screenwriter and like explaining to my family what you do, like the concept of rewriting was madness to them.
Right.
So like I would say to like, I'd be like my friends and my family, I'd be like, I can't go out tonight, I need to rewrite this script. And I was a paid writer at this point, and they'd be like, why are you rewriting it? And I'm like, well, I need to make it better. I'm like, why didn't you just do it right first time?
That's amazing.
And I'm like, well, I tried really hard.
I did my best.
Tried really, really hard to do it right first time, but then I came up with better ideas and I'm refining it. But to them, it's such a foreign concept. They're like, no, you do it once and you do it.
Like a play. Yeah, this is
exactly.
just right. It's
like
amazing.
That. Yeah, like you just done it.
And they
wash your hands of it and come and drink some Jaeger with us. It's like,
absolutely.
Mum, I can't. I have to
understand Jaeger.
Let's go get some iron brew and eat some wham bars, right?
It's interesting that you sort of hustled your way into the film course, because that's kind of a thing. Like as you're saying, it's impenetrable. You kind of need to get in through your personality if you don't have a connection.
You do, and actually, so much the industry is personality, because you end up spending huge chunks of your life with people. I mean, you know what, you're on set for like 18, 20 hours a day sometimes. You have to get on with each other, otherwise knives are coming out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's why people work again and again.
Well, that's it. Everyone forms their little teams.
You will have done, because people liked you, obviously, enough to keep you around.
They were like, she's useful. She can get into the tight spaces when we drop things.
Exactly,
I describe it as if I was working in like a loom.
I know, exactly. Yeah, you can stand in for
I wasn't a complete waif.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. There's a small child playing a role. We need a stand-in to go down the mine. I know. Krysty can do this. Yeah. Let's just put her on the payroll
we can't get a child stunt actor, but Kryssy's kind of short. She'll be fine.
She'll fit.
They were very kind to me. They never once put me in a stunt.
Right, so which is good.
Yeah.
So going back to your university, what was that like? Did you feel like you learnt a lot, or was it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I loved it, because basically what it was you're thrown in a room with like 25 other people who all wanted to make movies, right? Who all loved film and TV. And a lot of my friends growing up liked to watch them, but they weren't interested. I'd like to watch, I want to watch Arnold Schwarzenegger's commentary. Do you know what I mean? Like I want behind the scenes. Like I want to watch the bloopers. Yeah, exactly.
Now we are running.
That's honestly my
He just describes what's going on the screen.
So
everything is going to blow up.
I go around this corner, I shoot this man.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That was me, and that would drive my friends mad. And so I found myself myself at a film school with a whole bunch of people that loved it as well. And we would just take cameras out, and the movies we made were awful. I mean,
did you ever act in any? Because I acted in like a couple of mine, which I hope never anyone sees.
No,
Oh
my God, if they ever come to light, I will set fire to people's homes. Like real bad. I directed a screenplay I wrote. It was like my first thing I wrote, and it looks like a tribute to The Cure. It's just the worst thing. It's not about
were
The
you
Cure.
into The Cure?
No. I
Just
didn't
went
even
that
realise
way.
until afterwards. Someone's like, "Do you like The Cure?" I was like, "What's The Cure?"
Oh, that's amazing.
That sounds like that
Curious
might
will not watch the film.
come back in style now, though. Maybe like
Yeah,
it's kind of come back
actually might
around,
come
and it's
Maybe
now
it's where you
trendy.
can
Maybe
pull out your drawer.
Fine, I'll release it. I'll be like, for the first time on DVD.
Bonus extra for 1917.
Yeah, from the writer of 1917
Oh God,
comes
could you imagine?
The Cure.
The signed VHS
Yes.
release version now.
Cassette tape.
Yeah.
So then you went on to the National Film and
Yeah, the
Television
NFTS,
School.
the
Yeah,
National
just
Film
to
and
write.
Television
You went
School.
there to just do
Yeah, I went.
screenwriting.
I specialised. So at the Royal Scottish Academy, I had this amazing screenwriting lecturer, and I remember I didn't know I wanted to be a writer. I had no concept. I didn't even really fully understand that it existed, because on set the scripts appear, you do the scripts, right? And there was no writers on the set. Taggart, Rebus, so shocker. I know you won't believe it, but there was no
Shocking.
writers on the set of that. So I had no real idea that was a plausible career,
Right.
And I had this tutor, Richard Smith, who now lives out in LA, great writer, and he set as a task, he was like, go away over the weekend, write a story, it can be anything, try and make it a bit weird and surreal. And I wrote this story about 2 guinea pigs watching a man die. It was really fucked up. It was really weird. It was, I know, I was really disturbed, and I had
Were
these
the
two.
guinea pigs like the torturers? Or?
No, they were really into it. They were just like kind of like weird voyeur guinea pigs. Because I had these 2 guinea pigs in my house that used to just whistle whenever I passed. I loved them. They were my pets. But exactly. It made me feel good. I was like, looking good today. Thanks, Biff. Thanks, Iago. That was their names.
That's amazing.
And so I was really...
From Back to the Future?
Yeah, exactly.
Iago
from Othello, of course.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Of course.
You can see my 2 desperate loves,
Famous
Shakespeare
villains.
and Back to the Future. What do you mean they don't exist in the same like box?
I think that's the first time I've ever heard Iago and Biff from Back to the Future equated in the same space.
Wait till you see my tribute to The Cure. But no, so I was really like...
Which will be released with the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want that.
Released January 11th. No, please God, no. But so, and I wrote this, and I had so much fun doing it, because I kind of didn't take it seriously, because I kind of was like, this is madness. I was like, I'm just going to go mad. I was terrible at English at school. They were always like, why can't you spell? Why don't you understand grammar? Why are you always trying to make up weird stories
who's
just to
laughing
write
now?
about the
Yeah,
book?
exactly. Yeah.
Take that, Craig Homeschool. Suck it.
We're going to tag them in this.
It's fine. They can't find me. I'm hidden now.
Yeah.
Change my
No,
name.
they know
I'm
you're in
doing-
Labrador.
No, they won't. Don't tell them where I live.
You told them.
No,
Wait, stop.
no, it's fine. It's all right. Library Grove's a big road. And if you
But
find
the
me,
road,
just
we know that. Chili's getting far.
moved, yeah.
We know.
Not the
Number
number.
14 has lots of A, B, C, and D's on it. So
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
You tell them where Charles lives?
Yes, I'm joking. No, but I wrote this like testament to madness is how I would describe this. It wasn't a script; it was a short story, and I showed it to him, and he was like, "Oh, you're really good at this." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "This is super weird." He's like, "But it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's quirky and it's strange." He's like, "You could make this," and I was like, "Ah." And then he went, okay, tomorrow I want another one. And so literally every week he would make me write him a story.
Wow.
And then he taught me the format of a screenplay. And then so every week I would write him like a 10-page screenplay. And then if I didn't do that, I had to come up with 10 ideas for a story. So he taught the idea of what if, then this, like those kind of like really basic rudimentary ideas. And I just grew to absolutely love it.
Did you ever shoot that film?
No, could you?
I was going to say,
Can you still do it?
It's
well, they're
probably
dead
one
now,
of my
I
old.
imagine.
Yeah.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah,
Probably
it was
gone,
tragic.
sadly.
It was
Big
really
ghost story.
Yeah.
Reconstruction.
Bring them back.
Look, do you know what I mean? If they can get a hologram of Michael Jackson, can I not get a hologram of my guinea
See, I
pigs?
don't- I don't see why. There must be enough
Phone
footage.
Amblin, I'll be like, look,
The
I know you
CGI
put
might
some
be
money
cheaper.
for stuff.
Yes, these days.
The rights would probably be a bit better as well.
This teacher sounds amazing. He sounds
Yeah.
like he
was
really
fantastic.
guided
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
Richard Smith.
absolutely.
Can we give him a
Richard
shout out?
Smith.
Legend.
Shout out to Richard Smith.
Richard doesn't
You
live in
absolute
Labrador,
genius.
lives in LA.
Lives in LA. Just wrote, what did he just write? The Garden of Evening Delights just been made. He's super talented. He's great.
So was that the sort of the conception of you wanting to become a writer? Had you been doing other sort of filmmakery things like camera and sound?
Yeah, I thought I wanted to be a cinematographer. I thought I wanted to. I loved camera. I loved the visuals. I loved the idea because to me filmmaking back then, because sound was so bad, when you're making student films, sound is everyone forgets about it. So I didn't realise how creative you could be with sound, and that came later. I became really obsessed with sound when I was writing my first screenplay, and that paid dividends for me, luckily. But it was the beginning of me understanding that I guess that I could have a career as a writer, that it was even an option. And then he was so kind of like inspiring and driven and put that on me. So I became really driven in my storytelling and a bit relentless and wanting to write. Mm-hmm. And then so after that, I sort of, when it came time to graduation, I was like, I think I want to do this. And I was working at the comedy unit in Glasgow at the time. They were making like the Limmy show, Rab C. Nisbet, not the original, but the remake of Rab, or the latest season of Rab C. Nisbet. You're like, it's Scottish stuff. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know down
it's all
here.
Scottish stuff.
Something.
Doesn't translate. They need to subtitle it. But I was working on stuff like that. And knowing that I kind of wanted to write, they at the comedy unit as well were sort of like, well, okay. And the creators of those shows were really kind to me and would be like, well, okay, rewrite this scene or write a first draft of this scene and we'll rewrite you. And just nothing official, but just giving me a chance to kind of like understand my muscles. Mm-hmm. And then I went to the National Film and Television School where I did nothing but write for 2 years and work in a bar because I needed to eat and drink.
And drink, obviously. You're in a bar, so you might as well just sneak
proximity, most useful. But when I came down to the National Film School, they were like, what do you write? And I was like, I need to pick a thing to write. And I was like, well, I do a bit of comedy and I do a bit of this and do a bit of that. And they were like, well, we're going to make you do everything. And they were like, is there anything you don't want to write? And I was like, I don't really like kitchen sink dramas. Like, I don't like watching them. So the first thing they made me do was write a kitchen sink drama.
Interesting.
I was like, I hate fun thrillers.
Yeah, exactly. I really hate
war
films. Not interested.
Like rom-com. I was like,
I hate guinea pigs.
Yeah, exactly. I hate interesting stories about guinea pigs watching men die.
Yeah, but that's a really fascinating approach actually, because the stuff that it's like if you're an actor and you take on a role that's completely different to yourself, you learn so much about yourself and about the subject, I guess.
Yeah, and I suppose the reason they do that, which I'm a big fan of the National Film and Television School, they were great. Yeah. I have a very nice career. Thank you, National Film and Television School. Absolutely. But the reason they do that is because they're trying to make you think really critically about who you are as a writer, and sometimes you need to have distance from the material. A lot of people are like, write what you know, but I never had an interest enough life to write what I know, because what you're going to write about, this is me on the set of Taggart, do you know what I mean? Like, which is interesting to some people, but it's not necessarily Hollywood blockbuster material. So I always wanted to write big budget, kind of the movies I grew up on. I wanted to write
something that was outside
that's so good.
Exactly,
and that's one of those things like that I find most frustrating about the film industry. Is like I grew up on stuff like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I always wanted to make epic blockbusters. And the mentality is like, no, you should be shooting something in one room and it should be like as minimal as possible. It's like,
which is really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And I think that's a bit of a problem, or at least when I was first kind of coming out of film school, it was a real problem with the film industry in the UK, was that it lacked a certain scope and ambition. Yeah, and also being a young female untested writer saying, hey, and the very first film I wrote would never have sold out here, but it sold in America like that. Yep. Like they would never have bought it. Like I remember pitching it to people and they were like, that's a great idea. But I don't know.
But we haven't done that before.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Which was incredibly frustrating to me. Yeah. Or like one of the spec script I'd written at school, film school, was about insurance actuaries that predicted when people will die and then started murdering them. And that's now, I'm making that into a TV show with Neil Street. Yeah. It's fucked up. It's dark.
Of course you are.
Imagine the lives of other...
about your bloody guinea pigs.
Well, exactly.
Of course it's
the guinea pig thing's going to follow me about now, isn't it? Oh, dear. It was a secret. My mum will be like, why did she tell that creepy guinea pig story?
Those poor guinea pigs.
Why?
That'll be a cult classic that'll sell for millions one day, that manuscript.
Imagine my tribute to Wes Anderson. Like a Wes Anderson style.
I think that's the only way you could do it.
It is the only way. It's got to be like Fantastic Mr. Fox, but creepy Mr. Guinea Pig. Sorry, that's a great title though. Don't want anyone steal that.
Creepy Mr. Guinea Pig.
Don't you come near that, Wes. Stay away, Wes.
So you sold your spec script, but you'd written that at film school?
No, so I wrote a script at film school, which was the Insurance Actuary one, which had a female lead, and it was a bit American Psycho-y. And I remember going around people and they were like, we really like your writing, but we don't know if we would make a film that's so violent and dark with like a young female lead. And I was like, oh,
hang on, have you seen so many films?
Well, yeah, but this was 5 years ago.
Still stupid.
It's still stupid. And so I had a problem with that. And then so I had this idea for this. My second spec was called Ether. And being a big physics math nerd, I found out sound decays like radiation. So every sound that's ever said in a room is trapped in a room. It has a half-life. It doesn't disappear. It dissipates, right? Whoa. And so I came up with this idea of a machine that could turn up latent sounds in a room. And basically what the engine for the story was they used it to solve murders.
Like
so they listened to murders.
Yeah.
They listened to murders
That's
after
awesome.
the fact.
Wow.
And so I set it in a kind of police procedural drama because I thought that sells in the UK. People make them all the time, but it was a sci-fi. It was like a big weird sci-fi. And I remember I told a couple of people the idea and they were like, it's a cool idea. And then no one wanted to pay to make it, like for me to write it anyway.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, I'm just going to write it on spec. And I'd left film school at this point. I was working in the bar. I was kind of like severely running out of money. And I was like, I'm going to give myself a year. And if it doesn't work, I'll go and be an engineer. Because I know I could probably make money doing that.
And this is just it's a funny moment because I feel like everyone has had this moment in their life. Like Tom Harper was like the same at one point. He was like making shorts and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to carry on with this. Everyone has those points. It's just whether you carry on past those points.
Well, yeah. And I think as well, to me, the anxiety, the only way I could kind of give myself a break from how stressful it was trying to make it was to say, well, this is the date. If I don't make it by this date, fine. That's it. And you just have to accept it. And then it's in the lap of the gods, really. Or it's not. It's in the lap of you to just work your ass off. Yes. But in a way, it kind of releases you this everyday, like, will I make it? And I was like, right, well, I've got until then. And so I sat down and I wrote this on spec. And I was really pleased with it. And I said it to my agent and I was like, oh, this is quite good. Like, this might get me another job. And she was like, oh, I'm going to sell this in America, like for loads of money. And I was like, all right, good luck.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good luck, kids. And then like, I was literally working at the bar in Soho and I got a call and she's like, hey, you need a lawyer. And I was like, oh, what have I done? And she's like, an entertainment lawyer.
An investigation into Guinea Pigs.
I was like, oh no. It's the child stalking,
It's
right?
the child stalking thing.
I told you I was a child who was a stalker. Honest. Metropolitan Police at prayer. So I kind of was like, she was like, you need a lawyer. I've got one on the other line. Talk to her 5 minutes, see if you like her. And basically my lawyer, Tara, and I, all we did was talk about Dawson's Creek and how much we loved The Good Wife. And I was like, are you like The Good Wife? And she's like, no, I wish I was like The Good Wife. And I was like, well, let's talk about it. And she was like, I want to be your lawyer. And I was like, okay, great. And I subsequently found out she's like one of the most powerful lawyers in the world.
Wow.
Like just ridiculous. She's like Chelsea Clinton's lawyer. She's just like,
Seriously?
like Gordon Ramsay's lawyer. I have no idea how she picked me out, but she read the script and she liked it.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, so a couple of offers have come in. There's this offer. We need you to get on the phone with them and like decide who you want to go with. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, they want to pay you money for your script. And I was like,
I'm sorry, what?
For another script. And they were like, no, for Ether. And I was like, oh. And then they told me the amount of money. I'm literally stuttering. They told me the amount of money and I was like, I have to go. And I hung up and I phoned my mum and I was like, Mum, I'm making money. She was like, you got a big tip at the bar? And I was like, real big tip.
Real big tip. £4.
I was like, oh, I'm coming home for Christmas this year.
In my Lamborghini.
Not quite Lamborghini money. But
nice.
it was quite your job money, although I didn't quit my job because I loved working in the bar so much.
And you could write in the bar,
they let me write in the bar.
So why would you
know what
not?
I mean? And also, I didn't pay for booze. So
why
in a way, it cost me more to not work in the bar.
Money, actually.
Well, it cost them. But
all
they
your
were
money would have
very
been gone
good
in
to
a
me.
week.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
no, I have to
I'd have
still
been like,
work
oh my God, this is what Jaeger costs every time for every shot.
I can't do this.
Jesus Christ.
How do people afford to be here?
It's also an interesting point that you sold a script that you developed earlier as well.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time you have those scripts and you just think, oh, when am I ever going to make this?
Yeah.
But sometimes those scripts are the most valuable ones and they're the ones that you sort of, at that point in your life, you have like something that you really resonate with and you just think, I'm going to make this anyway, even if I don't make it immediately.
Yes.
And then like 5 years later, something could completely change.
Yeah.
And then you get your Lamborghini.
Well, not quite Lamborghini yet. I mean, what do you think? I'm made of money? Come on.
We need to talk about 1917 because
Yes.
they probably will kick us out.
Oh, I'm enjoying this.
No, we're so enjoying this. No. Because we normally do like hours and we talk and we'd go.
Well, another time. We don't have to do it in a strange hotel.
That's true.
Do it in a sleigh.
We could do it in a sleigh.
Strange but very glamorous hotel.
It's quite glamorous,
it's gorgeous
isn't it?
here, isn't it?
But will we ever make it out?
I know. No, we'll just stay here for a while afterwards. So 1917, it came about because you worked on Penny Dreadful.
Yes.
You've been a staff writer.
Yes.
How incredible, for one, getting that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sam was involved in Penny Dreadful?
So Sam was the exec producer in Penny Dreadful, and John Logan was the showrunner in Penny Dreadful. He wrote, obviously, many brilliant things. Gladiator, the last 2 Bonds that Sam had directed.
Yes.
Funnily enough, Ether, the script I wrote about the machine that turns upside down, John Logan read that, offered me Penny Dreadful season 3 on the basis of that.
Wow.
And couldn't understand a word I said on the phone because of my accent, but he just liked my script and he was like, fine, come to Dublin.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, sir. I'm trying to do a bit of an English accent.
I'm trying to now.
Of course,
so
thank you,
sir.
I'm sorry to everyone in England. That was appalling.
You should hear our Scottish, don't worry
Don't
about
worry,
it.
I hear plenty of people Scottish and that's bad.
Yeah.
But no, so I was like, so he read Ether, he gave me the job in Penny Dreadful. Sam was an exec producer in Penny Dreadful. And also I was adapting a book called The Good Nurse for Darren Aronofsky's company as well. So I was working away.
You were doing well.
I love to work.
Doing all right, yeah.
I love the money,
Still
but I
at the
love
bar,
the
still
work. And
We
so
do it for the passion, everyone.
it's the art. It's
money.
the art.
It's the passion
It's the
in our
art I
hearts.
can buy with the money I make. No, I'm joking. No, I do actually love doing it. The money is just glorious, glorious, glorious icing. The best part. So Sam and I met. Because his development executive, Julie Pastor, introduced us. So I met a bunch of people at Neil Street, and Sam and I kind of hit it off, and he'd read a couple of my scripts and liked my work. And he sent me the Voyeur's Motel book, which he wanted to adapt. Him and Amblin had bought it to make into a film. It was written by Gay Talese, and I wrote I pitched for it. He liked it. I wrote the first draft of it, and as I was handing the first draft in, a documentary was released that no one knew about, and it turns out that the author had sold the rights twice, and so the Amblin, who had paid like $1 million for the rights, didn't actually have the rights.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like this kind of weird cluster, and I was like heartbroken because I'd gone from having a film with Steven Spielberg and Sam Mendes to having no film. I still got paid, which was and that was
icing
Sam.
on the cake
That was
in a
Sam.
weird-
The
the cake
icing,
had
no
squished.
cake, but the icing
the
was
icing
still
was
there. I
still
was like,
around.
what is this?
Like
just
an
icing?
eaten mess, basically.
I mean, who doesn't love an eaten mess? But Sam and I had such a great time collaborating on that. That in a way it was great. So I got paid, and I kind of made a friend of Sam Mendes,
Which is
super useful.
Congratulations.
And
Well,
must
Which
be
again comes back to personality.
There we go,
and
yeah.
collaboration. Like you know, you might have gone to someone that was like, okay, I know this person does war films, but you two built a relationship.
Well,
you
that
were
was
fun,
it.
and
That
the
was it.
actual partnering was the fun bit.
Well, yeah, and so much of writing is being vulnerable with another person. Writing's meant to be bearing your soul, right? And it is in a way, like you're trying to kind of conjure up a whole other world, and you're hoping that people want to live in it. And you're like, I made this, please like it. Is essentially writing, right? Or all filmmaking is, I made this, please like it.
Yes, of course it is.
And so feeling that you have the ability to be vulnerable with that person, to be open, to be honest, and also to say stupid ideas.
Yes.
Because so much of writing is being wrong. I mean, the real trick to being a good writer is being a terrible writer at the beginning and just keeping at it until you fix it. Like, nobody makes a good pancake first time.
That's so true.
I don't make a good pancake like the 9th time. And I'm just like milling and milling and milling. I'm like,
analogy.
what
They're
are
all on the
pancakes?
ceiling.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, they're just all over the floor. My dog's like, what the fuck? Why is it pancake
I can't eat all
floor?
these fucking pancakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you pour loads of chocolate on top. And
Not chocolate and pancakes. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, what's wrong with you,
Blueberries.
darling?
Chocolate and banana? No,
Blueberries.
never blueberries.
Yeah.
Never blueberries.
Oh, I thought we were going to be friends, but
I know, but
it's
no.
over.
Brutal.
The friendship over. We'll never work together. I'm joking.
It's a lime brewer.
You unbelievable delight.
Because I'm writing at the moment 2 scripts with other people.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the
Yeah.
collaboration. I love spending
Yeah.
time with them and really getting into...
And creating the world.
Yeah, because when you
The
get
world's
stuck
so much
for a
fun.
minute, you kind of on your own. You go, oh, I don't know what to do. I'll
Yeah.
put it away. Whereas
Yeah.
the other person go, oh, we'll just do that. And
I
you-
see. I like both. I
joy.
like problem solving. So I don't mind if you sit me in my own and you're like, "This is a problem. I gotta fix it." I'm like, "I'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
Like get the
might be a
spanner out, just
pancake.
start smashing a MacBook. And I'm like, "I fixed it. Everyone."
Now you can't read it. I fixed it.
It's
Got no
done.
table left, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I set fire to my home. It's fixed.
Why is there pancake in this MacBook?
Why is there
many-
pancakes?
The batter is everywhere now. I have to cook the MacBook so I can eat the pancake. Disaster. That might be a valid way to fix it if you got pancake batter. I'm not saying it is, like, and I will not be sued if that is not the
Please,
correct way.
disclaimer.
As your lawyer,
disclaimer.
not John.
As
Do
my
not eat your
lawyer.
apples.
Yeah, do not do
Do not eat your apples. They do not keep the doctor away.
No. So it's been fantastic working with Sam. Then I imagine
unbelievably,
just
so
his
much
brain
fun.
must be incredible.
He is
right?
so annoyingly good at everything.
Yeah,
oh
he
my
looks
God,
that way as well.
what a
face, isn't it?
What a dick. But imagine just being great at everything.
Yeah.
I once said to him, I was like, if you sing well, I will stab you in the throat. And he was like, ha 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 ha.
And they went, la la la.
No, he didn't sing
Hold
that
my
well.
beer. Guess what? I cook my pancakes first perfectly every time as well.
He probably does.
Yeah.
Like, every pancake I make is delicious and perfect.
It's the best
Even in
one.
the trenches.
Yeah, even with chocolate in your face. So that must have been amazing. And then,
Yes.
let's just, if we can, quickly talk about the whole process of finding the story and the arcs within there as a screenwriter.
So telling a story in real time, super hard.
God, yes.
Super, super hard. And then real time and one shot are actually two different things in the script. Because they have to be, okay, so take your life, all your lives. Do you have a single consecutive, 90-minute window in which there's a beginning, middle and end? Interesting characters, a few action set
Sex
pieces.
life,
Generally try
Action set pieces.
and live outside of time.
Yeah, but is it worth making a $90 million movie about it? That's it. Well, you're like, my sex life is pretty
It's
great.
really good. Someone would buy that.
It's like that joke in 24, though, where you never see Jack Bauer going to the toilet.
Yeah.
Or having sex.
Or eating pancakes. He doesn't do any of that. Or killing guinea pigs. Whatever it is,
This
he's
is,
not doing
can I just
them.
say what a niche thing? Never going to the toilet or having sex or eating pancakes. Definitely the three
What
things
kind of a
we
life is that?
every day do.
What kind of a life
Every
is
day
that?
you eat pancakes.
But so telling a story in real time, really difficult. And the first thing you have to do as a writer, as a storyteller, you have to be like, how far can I stretch reality? Like, how far can I push the world before the audience goes, this is no longer believable as a single journey?
Yes.
And that's a real fine line, because you have to pack in enough that entertains them, that there has to be an ebb and a flow, there has to be action, there has to be breathing space in every kind of scene of it, and you can't ever cut. Oh, pain in the ass,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
But you can't cut through time. You can't go back. You can't go forth. You can't. So, for instance, in this story, it's really difficult because you cannot show the 1,600 men that they are racing against time to save. You can't show them. You can't cut away. So you can't offer any shade of humanity to that. So that's why Blake has a brother in that battalion. So you're using a storytelling method to work around it. So that is just tricky to begin with. But that's surmountable. The thing that's really, really, really hard is in the script. So usually scripts, you guys know, are a blueprint for a film. They're a map to a destination that a whole bunch of people are going to get on board and try and get to. Yes. And it's not going to be the same destination, but it's going to be fun anyway, right? So it's going to be something special at the end of it. This script had to be the destination. This script couldn't be the map. It had to be, in a way, this script, Sam and I wrote it on spec, so no one paid us to do it. Really? We just sat down one day. We didn't know if it was going to work, so we didn't want to set it up. So we sat down, and so it had to be proof of concept. We had to, in this story, show that a real-time war movie would be interesting enough to get all these other people on board to even begin trying to work out how the hell you do it. Totally. So that was a big burden. And also free work. Well,
yeah,
because I have to still pay mortgage.
You know what I mean?
This is pay my mortgage.
In your own time, gentlemen. Must be something big if the Channel's here.
You have a brother in the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message calling off tomorrow morning's attack. If you fail, it will be a massacre.
We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
Hold fast! If we're not clever about this, no one will get to your brother. I will.
Did you have to do like any previs with that, like to show
there
how
was
it actually
no
worked?
Actually we didn't do any previs with the script. I relied solely on my skill as a writer to describe it, so that I believe that when you read a script, right, that any script, it should be very visual, and you as a reader should be able to play the film in your mind. That you shouldn't be reading words on a page, you should be like, and then this happened, and this. Do you know what I mean? You should be cutting it and playing it. And so when I write, I'll naturally, and I'm sure most people do this, will naturally suggest close-ups, suggest a moment that you want to be very intimate with a character. And you had to do all that with this, but not rely on the standard kind of method of doing it.
And that was one of the most fascinating things about the film for me, was that it sort of breathes in and out.
Yeah.
In like these, it goes from sort of intimate with small sort of, couple of characters together. And then suddenly you're in this new location. And the way that you did all the different locations and linked them together made it feel like you were crossing like several different countries.
Yeah, it feels like an odyssey, doesn't
like an
it?
epic odyssey,
Yeah.
which is one of the most exciting things about the film for me, because like, you know, a lot of Hollywood blockbusters, they don't have such a story-driven journey.
I mean, crucially, that's what it was. Everything about this process was story-driven. From the first phone call I had with Sam until the last kind of like few ADR points that we were doing, or the last sort of tweak and visual effects that we were doing in the film, everything was story-driven. So, like, yes, of course, it's shot in one shot, and the cinematography is incredible. But even Roger will tell you that the cinematography is there to serve the story. Everything's there to serve the story and the characters. Because otherwise, what's the point in it? Like, go and make music videos. Do you know what I mean? If you want to just do some flashy and trashy music videos, this was about this script, this film, this whole endeavor was about trying to create a piece of film in which you live 120 minutes in someone else's life.
Yes.
And so everything about it, everything was geared to that. Every word on the page, every frame of the movie, every sound effect, everything, all was working towards that goal.
Amazing. I love the throwbacks as well that you did in terms of the cherry blossom.
Yeah.
It's just genius.
Well, because you can't have really any exposition because it's so noticeable in real time. So you have to be really, it's like a magician. You have to do all your sleight of hand. You're like, look over there, but also here. And so you had to find visual metaphors for things so that it would clue people in. And so you use the cherry blossoms to call back to a character that you love and miss.
Yes.
And so there's all those kind of things where, and in fact, you know, everything after he hits his head in a coast and wakes up, everything about that, you know, we change the way everything moves. We change everything about it so that you can't vocalize. I can't in dialogue vocalize what he's going through.
It's a feeling, and it's in the acting, but it's the mood you create with the set and the lighting, and like when he goes into the sort of the burnt city as well. It's like he's going through this journey through his soul.
Well, it's a journey through hell, and all of that is done so that we as storytellers could externalize Schofield's inner journey. So you could show it on screen. And so, like, all of that is story. Everything is about story.
It was
not
amazing.
just because I'd done the story.
Of course. And it was amazing.
That's the best bit.
Because we felt like I was watching, I felt like I was there in the
Good, please, thank you.
Honestly, it's one of the best films I've seen.
It is like it's a true epic. It's one of those times when you go to the cinema and you're like, this is why I go to the cinema, and you just want that kind of spectacle, and you want it to not be cheesy and just like.
Well, that's it. And you have to be so kind of simplistic with the storytelling. You have to be really kind of pared down and pared back because it's so easy to veer into cheese or veer into gore. And actually, that does a disservice to the men who fought, who died, who survived. And so that there's a burden of that as well. You have to really work at it.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. And just quickly, we'll touch on the fact that you're working with Edgar Wright.
I am the delightful Edgar Wright.
And again, writing together with.
I love to write with people. It's so much fun.
Co-writing is fun. Yeah,
it's really good fun. I mean, it's the most fun you can have clothed.
And that can be that bombshell.
Clothed and sober is the most fun you can have clothed and sober.
There's been so many quotable lines.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
We'll put that on the laurel of 1917. It's the most fun you can have clothed and sober.
You don't need to watch it clothed and sober. You can watch it however you want, but just watch it on a big screen.
Well, I'm going to go find that VHS copy of the Guinea Pig movie and of you starring in various things, and we'll put them out.
No.
No, we won't.
We'll make sure you get that Rafe credit on IMDb as well.
Yes.
Oh no.
Thank you so
much. Thank you so much, guys. This was so much fun. I absolutely adored it. What a fun time.
And where can people follow you real quick on the Twitters?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. You can follow me on Instagram at Krysty Cairns. The name Krysty is spelled super weird. I'll leave that up to you to find out. And then I'm on Twitter. I'm at We Write at Dawn because I love to write at dawn.
Perfect. And the film tells it's out on this
1917.
January.
1917 comes out January 10th.
Yes.
If you're in the UK, and for your American listeners, it's out on Christmas Day.
And see it at the cinema. Take everyone because it's epic.
IMAX.
Go to IMAX.
Do it.
Play it loud.
Play
it loud. Watch it proud.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, this was so much.
This has been a transmission of the Podfix Network. For more about this show and other great Podfix programs, go to podfixnetwork.com.